Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I am excited to be here today. And I just wanted to talk about, today we're going to talk about, can you make 10K from one book? And so I kind of wanted to show you and motivate you that it is possible. I was going through my old books and, or going kind of through my books and seeing what, sold the most, how much, and I just like the lifetime is kind of fun to see. And so I wanted to show you that it is possible. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So make sure if you're new to this channel, this is all about making money online with low content books, with Etsy. I thought I'd talk a little bit about more merch lately. My merch shop has been doing pretty good. Amazon merch, if you don't know what that is, Merch by Amazon. Hi, Tammy. How are you? So I just wanted to talk to you about that. Also, check out my Facebook group if you haven't joined, or if you're in my Facebook group, check out my YouTube channel, and please subscribe and like the YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow my channel and prove to my kids that I'm cool. So anyway, check out my website, publishwithashley.podia.com. It's all in the show notes, but let's get to the topic, right? Okay, so can you make not $1,000, $10,000 from one book? And yes, it is totally possible. This is going to be kind of quick, and then you guys can ask questions if you like, because I just wanted to motivate you and show you that anyone could do this. I started in 2015 publishing books, so I've been doing this a long time, and it took me a while to figure out what I was doing. I did fiction, if you've heard, and nonfiction, and then I transitioned because that was a little... With my children, it was a little, I needed more focused time to do things like that. So I moved to the low content because it's something you could pick up and drop, right? I started with lines like a lot of you, and I wanted to show you that it is possible to grow and create something that will build a lasting income, right? Something that that will generate income from years to come. Okay, so so this book right here, let me share my screen. Share screen. Y'all get to see me talk through it as I do this. Okay. So this is just one of my books, and I have several that have made 10K over the years. So it's not like 10K in 1 year, which would be fabulous, but I'm really happy that this book continually sells. So as you can see, it's like 1,177 and 92 cents in dollars. It does really, for some reason, this particular book does really well in the UK. It's made 7,070 pounds, which actually is more in dollars. And I'll show you, I have a spreadsheet. And then it's made like 75 euros. So let me pull up the spreadsheet here so that I can convert it for you. So UK, so here's like the totals. It's a spreadsheet you can download from some of you may have not seen this. You can actually find out your sales for one book, for a lifetime, for all sorts of things in the reports section of your KDP. And then you just click on the tabs to see which one you want. And then at the very bottom, we'll say generate a report. This is one of those reports that can be generated. So UK euros and UK dollars, averaging the conversion rate to dollars is about $10,303. That's probably maybe really tiny, but that's what that says right there. So I thought I'd show you that. But just to show you that, so I'm going to stop sharing, but just to show you that you can make 10K possible, okay, in one book. And what I love about this business is, not all books you're making are going to make you 10K. But this one has made, I think I published it in October of 2018. And it's a few years that it got me 10K. But hey, if you can get 3 or 4 books that get you 10K in a few years and continually bring in you royalties, that's why this business, it's a business, but it is passive income in the sense that there's the business portion where you have to create and advertise and, create your books and put them out there into the world. So that's kind of the business aspect, but the income itself can be passive. I've had, made $10,000 over one book. And that's just one. I have a few that did that. I went through a few of my bestsellers, and I have about 5 or 6 that have made 10K so far. Some quicker than others. Some are newer published, some are older published, but that's just one. So, all right. So tips. I wanted to give you 3 tips. All right. Actually, the first one has quite a few tips in it. So your winners. So once you find a book that is doing well for you, you want to create more in that winner niche, right? So if you find a niche that works for you, create more. And when you create more, try and think of all the reasons it did work. Okay, I know it's kind of a mystery sometimes because Amazon doesn't give you all the data, but look at your competitors. Look at, did you get a bunch of sales initially? Is it that you have a better interior? Is it your front graphic has certain colors? Really go through and think of all the reasons you think your book did better. Like really analyze why you think it did better, because this is the important part. You can put some more stuff out in the niche, but you're kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall. But if you come up with all the reasons you think yours did better, then maybe you can come up with reasons. You can create more books in that niche that have those same points. Like maybe it's colors, maybe it's okay. So the one I showed you, it's in a certain field where I put it as a gift, and a lot of the things in that gift niche, I wouldn't buy my kids because they're a little bit what I would call risque or racy. You probably heard me say this, but I actually focused my graphics and interiors and stuff on all like moms and grandmas buying this gift for their teen daughter. I guess it could be a boy as well, but it's more aimed at the girl niche. That's why I think it did better. So I created a few more in that niche with those kind of points and colors and different things. And when I did that, I found that I did really well. And I found this was my best seller in that niche, but I have a few others. And one actually, what's really funny is I took a spin on it, and I did it a little bit differently with a little bit different saying, and I had kind of a different idea for it, and it actually does really well in the US market. So this one did well in the UK market, but I changed up the wording and how I formatted it and stuff, and it did well in the US market. So I sat down and thought, why? So actually with this niche, I decided to add more into this niche the other day, and I focused them on the UK market. And then I took those, I thought of all the reasons I thought this did well, and I focused ads specifically on the UK market, and I advertised it for, I do cheap. I'm like the 10, 15 cent type person, and I've already had 5 sales, and that's been 3 days ago. So I launched it completely new products and put ads on it. So I do that when I have some sort of data. This book, is my data and my past interest. So I do that all the time. Now, so the second tip on the winner niche, okay, is nurture the products you have. So this book is doing well, so I nurture it, and nurturing it means don't just yes, you can passively publish it and do nothing and then cross your fingers and hope that it continues to sell. That's good, but not necessarily beneficial, especially since nurturing a product doesn't really take a lot of time. I put some really cheap ads on this product. One of the ads I have on this product has been going strong for 2 years. I don't even touch it. So I guess that's kind of passive, but I do check in on that ad. And occasionally, like towards Christmas timeframe, I will bump up the price or the cost per click that I'm willing to do because I think it's going to be helpful. And the Christmas, advertising dollars are more expensive during Christmas, and I know that. But I also add new ads during Christmas, focused at a little bit different angle and different products and different things. Okay, so other things is change the price. Don't be terrified to change the price. If you're really worried, maybe change it 50 cents, change it in the up direction usually. Though if you find, I would usually try 50 cents to $1, just try and bump it up and see if you can get, there's a certain point where your sales will kind of top off if you go too high, and they'll start to dip. If it starts to dip, you can change the price, 50 cents lower or $1 lower, but try raising the price. Changing the price also signals to Amazon that you've adjusted, you've done something new with it. And what's really funny, okay, so they like to change the price too. So I saw one of my books in a niche that is doing well in my books, and Amazon had bumped up the price to $12.19. Okay, they were testing my product at $12.19 to see if it would sell. Now, I don't get the extra royalty. I only get what I put. I think the price was normally $8.99, so I just get the normal royalty I would. They get the extra if it actually sells at $12.19. But what that tells me is that Amazon thinks that my product, because it has reviews, it has past history, could sell for more. So it actually got me thinking maybe I need to adjust my price in those books. So that's something I have on my to-do list to go and fiddle with those. And maybe I'm going to try $9.99 instead of $12. But you never know. I was actually thinking, could I take that interior, add a little bit more, and create one in that niche that would be a $12.99 product? And I think I can. So that's also on my list to do, is to take that interior, change it up a little bit, add some different things, target it at a slightly different market, and bump up the price. So that's definitely something that you should consider doing with your winners. And that's kind of on the creating the winner niche. But change the price of the product you have that's doing well, you know, just a little bit up or a little bit down, or just to see how it functions. And it actually tells Amazon that it should test out that product and see if it's doing well, especially if it has a past sales history. Amazon is very willing to push and bump your product a little bit up if you're going to put your price up a little bit, because, you know, they get more too. Add to the interior. This product also, I had a poor review, and I decided that the poor review was kind of justified in the sense that I think I could have made the interior, like, add a little bit more to it. So I did add a little bit more to this product way prior to the Christmas season. So then the Christmas season came, the products, you know, it went up in sales. And then I got a lot of reviews saying, I don't know what that person was talking about. This interior is great. It has all these extra things. I know some people are worried that, but like, my changes weren't huge. They were small changes, and I only had one complaint. So I thought changing it up, and if someone got the old one because, you know, it hadn't switched over yet, they wouldn't even have noticed, right? So it's just something I added to the interior to make it a little bit better. So nurture the products that are doing well. Think of things you can either add or change or price. Just do a little bit, do some ads, do something to keep them going so that you can have the passive income for years to come. Okay, so that was number one. Number two, find and create books that you can sell for $12.99. This is one of the things I decided to focus on. I think it was a year or two ago, about a year and a half ago. I tried to really scour and find places and ways I could create books that were $12.99, because it is a great price point. You get a pretty good, you get, like, I think it's $5.23 or something like that for your average 120 page book type thing. And it's a great price point. You can even add up to 140 pages, 150 pages, and still make like $5. So it's a great price point, and you can add a lot of, good interiors and details and all sorts of things. Now, I know everyone asks, how do you do this? Well, I want to caveat this with, it is hard. I have been looking for all the places to put a $12.99 book for 2 years now, and it is not the easiest thing to find. So how? It's a lot about researching, niching down, adding a bunch of extras. That's the way I found it. You add a bunch of interesting or extra things. I've talked to you guys about QR codes and things you can add and do that are different. That's one way to do it. Content, actually adding some content like tips and tricks. So we're not talking mass amounts of content. We're talking, a top 10 list, how to use this book, or some examples or various things. Don't copy, write your own stuff. You can do research and then write, whatever your tips are in your own words. But adding that sort of stuff, I have a planner that I added a bunch of tips to, and one of the comments was, hey, this is more than just a planner. It tells you how to do this and this and this. This is great for, it was a business focused one. This is great for any entrepreneur, right? So the comment said that, yeah, they were really liked the content. It wasn't just a planner. There was more to it. And so you could sell that for a higher price point. Okay. The other thing is brand. As you create a brand, you can ask and demand higher prices, because you have people who want and like your stuff. So developing brand takes time, but that is one way that you can start bumping up your prices by creating a brand that is recognizable. Better covers. I can't emphasize this enough. Your normal average cover, if you can make your cover in like 5 minutes, it probably isn't what I'm talking about. You want to add interest and texture and layers. I actually just put up yesterday on my YouTube channel under the playlist of covers, how to create layers and textures and things like that, and adding more interest to your books. It does take a little bit more time. It takes more time to find the things you're looking for and putting them all together and making them look good, but it is well worth the effort. I had quite a few people telling me they liked the back cover as much as the front cover because I didn't have the graphic on the front, but I had done some really fun stuff and layers and textures with the back cover to make it look really rich, I guess. And it looked really good with the matte, the matte covers. Okay, let's see. So get your skills up, make your skills, improve every single day. You may not be an expert today, and that's okay. Just keep increasing and learning every single day. Create quality books. This is number 3. Create quality books. So you, my notes are down here. Sorry. You you want to create quality books so that you can continue to sell for years to come. Flash in the pan is nice. And don't get me wrong, if you get some of those great ones that just take off and then drop, hey, you still made some money. That's great. But if you can create something that is lasting, that is really high quality, that takes more time than, what everyone's saying, just throw blank lines up onto the internet. It'll be great. You'll make $1 million. You won't. You'll spend a lot of time and won't make $1 million. So create and learn and do things that will make your book stand out for years to come. The books that continue to do well are the ones that continue to get reviews. Everyone asks, how do you get reviews? The easiest way is create a quality book. Okay, once you create a really good quality book, people will start adding and having comments and doing things. I got one in my kids' book that the adult liked. Her daughter liked it so much, and she liked it so much that she was buying one for herself because she thought it was, even though it was focused at kids, it had so much really great information that she wanted one for herself. And what better compliment is that? So I spent a lot of time on that interior. I spent a lot of time creating the whole package. I mean, I had educational stuff in there. It was actually really, really good. And it took me a while to create, but I got a good review from it. Okay. And I continue to get good reviews. The only poor reviews I've gotten is printing problems. Amazon printed it incorrectly and gave it to the customer and they were upset, but that's not my fault. And there's nothing I can do about that. So I just kind of ignore that and focus on the good stuff. Okay, there we go. That's it. That's all my tips. I hope that was helpful. So those of you online and watching, thank you for the likes and the hearts and subscribes if you get any subscribes. And let me know what your questions are. Does anyone have a question about anything? It's like the Jeopardy. Do. Okay, so if you're thinking and typing, that would be great. If not, I'll be quick today. This will be a quick, I don't even know how long did I talk for. I haven't even looked. 18 minutes. There we are. Let's see. So other things, check out my website, Publish with Ashley. I've got my ads course. If you're just starting, I have a boot camp for starting, learning how to publish books online. And I'm thinking of adding a Pinterest. I have a Pinterest playlist on YouTube, but I'm also thinking about adding maybe a Pinterest course. I just have to decide if I want to focus on that. Okay, so could you show in detail your back cover? Maybe. It has my brand name on it, so I don't really want to, but maybe I can figure it out. I did like a textured, so let's see if I can do it without showing anything that is interesting. No, I don't think I can do it. Sorry. I don't think I can do it. Okay, but it's got a texture, so it's gray. And then what I did is I took some vintage, like pressed paper with fleur-de-lis. I can't even say those. And then I textured them so that they were that use texture, so it's got the holes in it and stuff, and then they're silver, so they stand out. And I put them on like a water painted gray background, and then it's like the silver leaf kind of stands up, and since it's textured, the gray comes through, and it looks like it's shiny, even though it's not shiny. It's kind of an optical illusion. It turned out really good, and the matte makes it just feels luxurious. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. If you were creating, Aline said, if you're creating a brand, if you're creating a brand, would you suggest outsourcing graphics so you can keep it all uniform, as creating a brand would surely be more difficult if you're relying on Creative Fabrica? No, I don't. Your brand just has to be around a target audience. Well, okay, let's look at Jade Summers, who actually isn't a person, it's a brand, and it's several artists. If you look through her books, then you can see there's different styles of coloring books. They're coloring books for adults, but they do have some for kids. But there's different styles. There's even different styles within there. So no, I don't think you actually have to hire it out. You just have to know who. I'm big on target audience. Know who your target audience is and do things they will like. Like in one brand I use, I do a lot of watercolor type stuff. So we do a lot of watercolors. I do a lot of flourishes and flowers, things like that, because it's aimed at a female audience, and generally older, not your teens, you're kind of older, like 30 to 30 plus women, right? So it's kind of, I have that target in mind, and that's the type of graphics I pick for that target audience. So no, I don't think. I love Creative Fabrica. You just have to use Creative Fabrica in unique and creative ways. I am always watching you're gonna laugh. I'm watching YouTube stuff on how to use PowerPoint in weird ways. There's just a bunch of people who use PowerPoint to do art. And so I watch their YouTube channels, and then I take the ideas they have and I move them to what I want to do. And I don't watch those all day long. I pick out like one or two things I want to learn a month, and I'll watch the YouTube video. And then I think, okay, what can I learn from those skills? What can I do with what I like to do that creates something interesting and unique? And so that's what I've kind of done. But you can watch people with Canva doing interesting things. I just found a few YouTube channels on PowerPoint where they're artists. They're amazing, and they do all sorts of crazy stuff. And so I watch them because they're totally pushing the envelope, and they make me think. And then when I think, I can come up with creative stuff. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Great information. Thanks, Tammy. Hi, Allie. I have seen an independent publisher have more than 2 images. Oh, okay. So yes, the 2 images of the cover. I know someone asked this on YouTube, and I was going to answer it. I just haven't gotten to answering YouTube comments today. So the people who do more than 2, the front and back, there's 2 ways. Okay, so there's maybe 3 ways you can do it. One, you have to have a Seller Central account, and then you have to keep emailing them. And that actually used to work much better. But I don't know if Amazon's got tightened down or got more savvy to this, where it's really hard to do. You can try it and keep emailing and through Seller Central adding pictures, but I have not had any success on it. I tried for a month and a half, and I kind of gave up because I honestly I decided it wasn't worth my time. So there's that way. If you create a brand and become a brand publisher, and that there's a whole process through Amazon. I don't know where I found that. Somewhere in Amazon KDP answers, you can become a brand, and they will, because you're a brand publisher, like a recognized publisher, they will, it takes a while. It's like a year process to get it all done. Then you can add extra photos because they consider you more like a publisher than an independent publisher at that point in time. And I don't know if you have to have your own ISBNs. You probably do. I don't know. I never looked into it because it looked harder than I wanted it to be, I guess. And maybe that's not true. So I haven't gone through it, but it just looked hard. And then like the third way is, I know a while ago you just could email them and add extra pictures, but I don't think that works at all anymore. So, probably the most likely way is to go through that whole becoming a brand, recognized brand through Amazon. I think you have to have like trademarks and some other stuff to protect you. And I just didn't want to go that route because I didn't. So, do you prefer to modify templates from Creative Fabrica or Tangent templates, or make your own? I have some So what I usually do is I make a lot of stuff myself, and then I will take piece parts of other templates and use just pieces. So I tend to do a lot of compilation type things. So it's more than just one page that or 2 pages that repeat. They are like 20. Sometimes I've done, a whole 50 pages and then that repeated. But it usually tends to be 10 to 12 pages that repeat for a certain thing. And I will take like somebody's template, and usually I change the whole thing. By the time I'm done with it, I probably could have built it just as quickly. But a lot of times I'll just change the whole thing, different fonts, different wording, different all sorts of stuff. But sometimes I will use templates like blank lines. I use templates for blank lines because I don't want to sit and make my own blank lines, because why? They're just lines. Let's see. Could you show us to design the back cover instead? Well, I can, oh yes, I can show, that's what I just said. So how to design and make interesting back covers. I actually just did a YouTube video. So on my playlist for how to create covers, I actually go through that in this last one. So part 6. So the ones I think I published last night. Yeah, look at that one. And that's what I did. I did overlaying graphics, and then I changed the transparency so that like different things pop up. It's a lot about playing with it and making it pretty. So that takes time, because it's, I don't know what's going to work when I do it. I start pressing buttons until it looks right. But I show you how to do that with transparency on Canva. On PowerPoint, there's a few other things I do as well with glow and stuff like that. But I haven't done one on PowerPoint on how to do that yet. But you can take the same ideas and do that. I usually spend a lot of time creating themed seasonal books as Easter, but they only sell for a short period of time. Do you think it's worth it focusing on it? I have not found so. I have some Easter coloring. I think if it's quick to make some focused ones, yes. So like if you were going to do like a maze book and then put little bunnies, like an Easter maze book, and then put a little bunnies. Or have you seen that I thought this was so cute, and I can't believe I didn't think of this. Easter decorating books where they did like 2 or 3 different types of eggs, and then you colored in the designs and had a coloring book. That was pretty quick to do, right? So things like that you could create fairly quickly, I do think are worth it. Things that maybe take you 2 weeks to do, I have not found that they're worth it, but that doesn't mean that you might not get a bestseller from it. But, doing stuff like that does stretch your skills. So maybe think how you can create something like that that is more evergreen. Even taking, some of those concepts and creating to be more evergreen. If you're doing like a word search, and the word search took you a day to build, like an Easter word search, and it took you 2 days to build with the tools, then yeah, I think that's worth it because it's quick and it's focused. But I have not found I have a few Easter coloring books, Halloween coloring books, and they sell continually as far as each season they'll sell, but they don't sell a lot. So, but some people are really great at that sort of thing. So if you are, more power to you. I am not. But it's kind of what you're good at, right? If you're quick, I think it's all about how quick are you. And I take way too much time on everything. Do you add a copyright page? Yes, it's okay. So I add a copyright page. Why? Not because I actually care about the copyright, but because I want, if you don't know the brand name, like say someone wants to actually purchase your product again, they go, oh, I loved that planner, I'm going to go purchase it again. Well, if you don't have your brand name on there, then, or your author name, how are they have to go back to their Amazon search, your purchase history, and then go find it. I mean, okay, I do that because I'm weird like that, but most people are not going to spend that much trouble to do it. So have your, brand name, your author name. So at least on the copyright page, and I always have like my author name, copyright 2021 or whatever, all rights reserved. And then I put my web page, right? So that they can go and find my products again. And I do my web pages I don't create big web pages. I create my web pages through my Amazon Hacks course. If you read that, it's like a $9 mini course, super cheap, but this is how I do it. It's really easy and super cheap to do. It cost me $9 a year to maintain my websites, and I only have like 3 of them. So because those are the brands I focus on. I'm considering adding one more this year, so we'll see. But yes, add a copyright page, not because of the copyright. It is automatically copywritten, but I do it mostly so people can find me. I only bid 2 cents on ads because I have no idea how it works. I made great money over Christmas doing this, but how do you really figure out ads? How did you learn? I spent a lot of time to trial error. 2-cent ads. Wow, I'm amazed you got any impressions or clicks at all, because that's really cheap. You must be focusing on really, really targeted keywords, which is great. And if the 2-cent ads are working for you, go for it. The easiest way to do is just to increase your spend just a little bit more. Instead of like 2 cents, just try that ad with 5 cents and 6 cents, and then see where it kind of drops off. So if it's performing like at this level, and then you hit 7 cents and it starts kind of going down, find where it continues to perform really well. How do you learn ads? I have a course, but honestly, ads, it's about trial and error. And I can't stress this enough, knowing your target audience. Okay. If you know your target audience, you know where they shop, why they want to buy your product, what problem they have, and what solution your book offers, then you are more likely to find the keywords and products they were looking for. Okay, so last night I have some camping books. So I was trying to figure out how to advertise uniquely to camping. So I wanted to do a higher end client. I wanted to push my book towards a higher end client. So I started focusing my ads on higher end camping items instead of books. No, I was focusing on solo fireplaces. I don't know if you've seen these. You could look it up on Amazon. It's like a smokeless fire pit. And people really they're like, everyone loves them right now. So I decided to focus on they're like $300-$400 things. I kind of figured if someone would buy a $300-$400 thing, maybe they'd buy my camping book too. So I tried to advertise towards unique, different things. So this was yesterday. So this was something new and different that I don't know how it's played out, but you have to be creative and think a little bit differently. And ads it's trial and error. You keep trying it, and if it works, you keep going. If it doesn't work, stop that, try something else. What most people do is they just say, oh, it didn't work, and I stop. Okay, you can do that, but that's not the attitude that will make you successful in ads. You just keep trying, keep pushing new ideas and thoughts out there of ways you can market your product to somebody. Bootcamp course is on my website. So it's publishwithashley.podia.com/ads. So if you just go actually to my HTTPS, it's on the show notes. If you go down below, it says my website. It's actually on the front page there, but you can click on courses or and check it all out. There's like mini courses and courses and stuff. It's there on my ads course. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if your ads are working, let them run, but try different ads. Try product sponsored ad, focusing on sponsored ads, focusing on products. Try sponsored ad focusing on keywords. Try different things with your advertising and kind of make notes with what works and what doesn't work. And some stuff works during some parts of the year and not other parts of the year. There's more of a buying frenzy towards Christmas. So you can do maybe some different things that will work there, but won't work the rest of the year. So you've just kind of got to be creative. One of the other things I focus on is when I'm focusing on which products to do, I also try and target the ones with lots of reviews. Because if they have lots of reviews, they're a very popular product. Now, I could go and search on Amazon, and I do sometimes for really popular products within a certain niche. But the ones with reviews do tend to be obviously really popular, because if it has 4,000 reviews, probably a lot of people have purchased that item. So I kind of focus on some of those things too. So just give you some ideas there. Would a free Wix or Square page be okay to showcase all your books? Sure. I've used that for Wix too. I've used Wix too. It's going to be something maybe a little harder for people to type, but you could get a URL shortener so that it would be a little bit shorter. All right, so yes, but you can do that. That's definitely worth a try. Peter says, I'm surprised at how fast the BSR can go up in a book. I sold the first copy. It was 70, and a week later, it was 220. I assume it's not sold another copy. Maybe, maybe not. It does go up pretty fast. It depends how long your book has been published and how long it's been at a certain rank. Because I've actually, there's like a theory out there. If you look at the Amazon, how it's published, it's like, how quick did it get published? How many purchases was it within a 24-hour period? And then how long, and they also do how long it's been published. So if it consistently sells like 1 or 2 a month, then it will kind of stay at that BSR that would be connected to or related to, I can't think of the right word, but related to that BSR. So that the time published also is different. So if it hasn't been published for very long, it will spike a lot. But maybe not. Also, another thing is I've found, at least for me, I found my products that get multiple orders. So like if someone buys 2 of the same books, they're buying one for themselves and one for a gift, that it doesn't make the BSR show 2 sales. It shows like 1 order. So the BSR would only go down for 1 order versus the actual 2 sales I made. So my things that are gifts that tend to sell multiple copies to a person, it's not as low of a BSR as you would think it should be. But honestly, I don't care because I'm getting 2 purchases, 2 sales. The BSR means something, but I'm happier to get those 2 sales. And the nice thing about that too is like people don't want to, they think like my BSR isn't as low as it should be. So they're like, oh, I don't want to bother with that niche, right? Well, that's fine by me because I'll have less competitors because they don't realize that it's kind of a gift type niche where people buy more than one. Do you do ads on books that sold only? No, I do ads on books, new ads, like not all the time. That is not an all the time thing. If I have a target market and a target audience in mind, yes, I will do an ad on a new book because I already have the research for a target market done. And so I know exactly what I'm going to do for my ads. I know exactly who I want to aim it at. I also look at trends and things that sell well. Your book may appeal to a trend. So you can sell to people who are, they're looking at for a trend type thing, a trend or a trendy phrase, but your book will fulfill that need. Like it will solve that person's problem. Cause like trends come and go, right? But a lot of things consistently stay a problem, but it's dieting, right? There's the keto diets. There's all these different fad diets. Your, fitness planner book may, it could be like several types of diets, right? If it depends how you did it, but it could, it could work for somebody who's doing the potato diet. And yes, there is a potato diet. So maybe your book would work great for somebody who suddenly has this fad thing to go on the potato diet, and your book would work great for it. So you can advertise to people who are interested in potato diets. Let's see, did I miss? I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm scrolling up. Okay, one more, I think. What free things would you do if a couple of your books are not selling? Social media or something else? Free things. Yeah, I would try Pinterest. Pinterest is a good way to try something. I would, it depends how much, if it's just a lined notebook, probably nothing. I probably wouldn't do anything. I might put it on Pinterest, just why not, right? Create a pin. I create several types of pins. You create a pin directly from Amazon. And then also create pins where you put like your book and like, do you want to lose weight this year? Right? If you have a planner on fitness planner book, and then put a picture of your book, and then the pin links to, get this great planner, right? Tell the people what to do. Give them the problem. This great planner will help you, solve your weight problems or track your weight. Get it here, right? So give them kind of like the ideas, or what you could help them with, what your product will help them with, right? What problem does it solve? I was actually listening, so that's something. You could try YouTube, especially if you're creating a brand. You could try YouTube and show people, like I've said, for YouTube, you could write something if you were doing a planner, you could every day write in your planner and show people your product in use, or something else creative. You might just have to be creative. Who was it who was saying? Someone said they were like dancing around with their product, and that like on TikTok, and that sold a bunch of stuff. You never know, something weird might actually work. Who knows? You could just try something crazy. If it was just a blank line planner, I would have a harder time. The thing I always try, it just depends upon target audience. If you know where your target audience is hanging out, then that is where you should focus your time and effort. Instagram, there's like Insta books or Instagram books or something like that, where people share covers on Instagram. So you could look into that. I'm not well versed in Instagram. It's on my to-do list. I don't know when I'll get there one day. I know people really love it. I just haven't gotten there yet. And so Pinterest is an idea, or Instagram is an idea. I don't know, just kind of, you have to know your target audience. Where they hang out and where they are is where you should start trying to do free things for. Okay, I think that was it. Any other questions? Whew. All right, 40 minutes. I was so excited to have you all here today, like 15 people live. Thank you. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my webpage. It's in the show notes, but publishwithashley.podia.com. There's freebies in there, so check out all the freebies too. I was planning on adding some, I think, freebie mazes. I like making mazes. It's kind of fun. So I was going to add some more freebie mazes if you need maze for your activity books or whatever. So I was thinking of doing that. I have to, yeah. And then I know that I know people asked about Pinterest, and I want to put some more on my Pinterest YouTube channel or YouTube playlist. So I have like 4 things on there, 5, and I want to, now that I've done Pinterest a little bit longer, I was going to try and add some more and update. I know that's on my list. I promised it like a week or 2 ago. I'm sorry, it's still on my list. I promise you it's under my videos, things to do. This week I tried to focus on things that would actually make me money. and things that would make me money was putting some stuff on Etsy and doing my ads. So those were my 2 main things I had to get done this week. I'm still working on my ads. I've got about 4 or 5 more that I need to set up. And yeah, then hopefully I can get to the rest of my to-do list. Okay, one last question. Are you on Clubhouse? Yes, I am on Clubhouse. And yes, I do have invites. So if you want to, you're on YouTube, it looks like. So if you want to email, or like you can make a comment or whatever, or look on Facebook for me. And I don't know if you're on Facebook, but you can message me on Facebook and I can get you an invite, since I have 2, I guess. So yeah, so anyone else who wants one, message me, DM me on PM me, whatever it is, on Facebook, so that I know and I can give you those invites. All right. And I just started Clubhouse the other day. It was kind of interesting, actually. It was like talk radio, sort of. But anyway, thanks so much for being here. I need a break because I need to get a drink of water. And I will see you all next week live. And I promise I'm going to add that Pinterest video, I'm hoping, this week. And I'll definitely add some more cover videos. I love doing the cover videos because I think people really need to know how to up their game with making covers that are really interesting and stand out, because I think that can really, that can sell it for you, right? That's like one of the biggest sellers, your cover. All right. So I will talk to you all later. Bye.